Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Thanks for being here. This is another episode of Adventures in Dudeness. Thanks for tuning in. Good morning. If I can't keep saying that, yeah, okay. Already said that. Anyway, we're going to move on. Today, we are going to, number one, it's the end of March. Thank God it's the end of March, because now that means for those of us who have been stuck in a frozen hellhole similar to a Siberian prison, if you will. Hopefully, we are in warm weather. That's that should lift our spirits and help us continue on. But today, I'm going to bring you a little bit of something, a little life hack, a little life lesson, whatever you want to call it. But today we're going to discuss maybe a life skill or something like that. Today I was going through. So there's a blog website podcast. The guy does just about fucking everything. He is he is someone that I follow very closely and has been a huge inspiration to me in my personal life, and actually doing beginning the Adventures in Dudeness podcast. Just he posts a lot of stuff that if you were ever confused, like I was on, what am I supposed to be doing here? What I'm a man. What am I? Where's my drive? What do I do? How do I do this? How do I do this man thing? Right? Like, should I wear shorts or pants? Kind of thing. No, really, I'm joking. But anyway, his name is Mr. Brett McKay, and he runs a website, podcast, writes books, does all kinds of stuff called The Art of Manliness. His website is artofmanliness.com. No, I'm not interviewing him today. God, I wish I was. And no, this is not a paid sponsorship. I really value his work and what he does. So I found this article and I started reading it, and I'm always looking for inspiration on accomplishing things and making myself a better man and a better person, and trying to stay organized in a crazy, chaotic world as it can be sometimes. So I came across this article he did. It is called The Rule of Three. That's what we're going to discuss today. The rule of three is implemented on many, many platforms, but it is just basically a simple way to break things down so you can get things accomplished that you need to accomplish, starting with the most important. It kind of keeps things direct and concise, and doesn't really muddy the waters on what we truly need to get accomplished. So from his blog post over at artofmanliness.com, it's, basically we talk about, he says, the second catalyst to kind of benefiting his life, he is talking about, or kind of tracking his life, or accomplishing things. The second catalyst was discovering the rule of three in order to work deliberately through my day rather than reactively. So it's all about setting deliberate intention instead of reacting to, you know, fucking catastrophes basically as they come. We want to prevent the fires, not put out the fires, kind of thing. And then he mentions in here author Chris Bailey. The rule of three is a concept that's discussed in various blogs and books and videos and all kinds of stuff. But he says that author Chris Bailey defines it thusly: at the beginning of each day, before you start working, decide what three things you want to accomplish by the end of the day. Do the same at the start of every week. Bart McKay goes on to say it's a simple yet game-changing concept. While it's actually fairly easy to execute, which makes it productive is when it's easy. It's the KISS method: keep it simple, stupid. Below, he'll take you through the reasons why it's so important. Utilize the rule of three. So that's just a little bit from his blog post on his website, and I typed it in to get a more concise sort of thing. And of course, as I ultimately do from time to, well, quite often, we asked the supercomputers, and here's what they had to say. The rule of three is a productivity technique where you identify the three most important tasks or goals you want to achieve each day, week, or month, forcing you to prioritize and focus your energy on the highest impact activities to reach your larger objectives, rather than trying to do everything at once. Essentially, it's about identifying your top three wins to make significant progress, towards your goals. If you would also like some ways to work towards your goals and significant progress, if you suffer like myself from a medical term, it's called fat assery, you can head on over and see my buddy James Jennings over at Kilo Foxtrot Fitness, and he will gladly help you out, because you know what? He cares so much about his fellow man that he wants to make sure we are all healthy, in shape, and are the best person that we can possibly be. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, you can also head over and listen to his Keep Fighting podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many others. Again, shameless plug. Like to help my friends out. He's not paying me to do this, nor did he ask me to. I'm just doing it because that's how much I really believe in what he's trying to accomplish, and in the way that he's trying to help people. He truly is a man who cares, and he wants us to be the best version of ourselves as much as he is the best version of himself. But he has some great episodes over on his podcast of some ways to increase, better your life, basically, and really some great ideas and concise ideas. So head over there, Keep Fighting Podcast, of course, and Kilo Foxtrot Fitness. You can find their Facebook page over on Facebook. I also believe there is a Instagram as well. So get a hold of him if you would like to, help yourself be a better dude. But anyway, I digress. We'll get into the key points here about the rule of three. Number one, focus on the most important. By only selecting three key tasks, you ensure you are concentrating on the actions that will have the biggest impact on your overall goal achievement. Number two, reduces overwhelm. Limiting your focus to 3 tasks help combat the feeling of being overloaded with too many things to do. Number 3, improves decision making. Choosing your top 3 forces you to prioritize and make conscious decisions about what matters most. Number 4, provides a sense of accomplishment. Completing your 3 wins for the day gives you a feeling of progress and success, even if you have other tasks remaining. Now, I don't necessarily use the rule of 3. I have my morning, afternoon, evening, and Sunday to-do lists that I have developed. And there's more than just 3 items on there, but they're small, like things that I would normally do anyway. It's just a way of kind of keeping me organized and motivated. So like one of them is make coffee. Well, of course I'm going to make coffee, right? That's like the first thing I do. Wake up, take a leak and then make coffee. It's a daily thing. But I put it on there anyway because it helps motivate me to keep going. The next is to check my it's a Bible study app. I check that every morning, part of my morning routine. Boom, check that off the list. Literally takes me 30 seconds, but it helps me remember to do it. And it helps me create new habits. Another thing is I read My Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday every morning. I read that day. Again, I put it on the list. I check it off. It helps me build that new routine, that new habit, right? And then I have some other stuff like, I use it to help with the podcast and the YouTube and the Rumble and the Odysee and the Instagram and all the social media stuff. I try to use that to help me implement and stay current and do what I need to do. But when it comes to big things, I can see where this rule of 3 comes into place, right? We have to prioritize things. Like, obviously, we want to make sure that we pay our bills before we sit down and watch TV for the rest of the day. But we don't, and I think it's a way to stay on track and not be distracted by other things. Like if we know that we have to get these 3 things done first before we can do anything else, that's what we're going to do. And it helps us be more responsible and build better habits. I think this is just a simpler breakdown, which there's many, many methods of kind of doing this. But I think it's important that you do have a system like this to keep you organized. One of the worst feelings that I have is to feel like scatterbrained or like unfocused. It's very frustrating for me. And tips like this, lists, to-do lists, or different, we're going to talk about. I have some other ways of prioritizing tasks and getting things accomplished that we'll talk about in the future. And I'm not here, like, this isn't normally the route of, this isn't the basis of my podcast, is to like make you a more productive person. But I think there's value in discussing it. And I think that if you come to a place where you're like me and you're frustrated and feeling unfocused, that this could serve you and could help you. And that's what I want to do. I want to help my fellow dudes out there stay on track and not and help prevent you from feeling that way, so you can focus on other things, so you can just be feel better, just feel better in general. But yeah, there's a lot to being said, especially as we're adults. We have a lot of shit going on. When we're parents and our kids have a lot of shit going on, staying organized, and I will do episodes on every way that I can try to help people be as organized as possible, because that makes us good husbands, it makes us good dads, it makes us good men, it makes us good employees or employers. All around, it makes us a better person. And not that that's the drive of what I'm trying to do. I think there's enough of those podcasts out there that do that, and they do a lot better job than I can do, because that's their passion and that's what they invest all their time in. But when I come across stuff like this, I think that it's good to relay this information. So how we're going to use it, I think we already kind of said that before, and it doesn't seem overly complicated. So what we're going to identify our goals, clearly define your larger goals, and then break them down into smaller achievable milestones. We talked about that a couple months ago with the episode of setting realistic goals, and that was one of the tips that we discussed, is breaking things down into smaller achievable things, because it'll make it easier for you to accomplish. Choose your top 3 for each day, week, or month. Select the 3 most critical tasks that will move you closer to your overall goal. And then lastly, prioritize and focus. Devote your primary energy and attention to completing these 3 key tasks first. And that's kind of what I just said. We want to make sure that we get the most important stuff done, so that way we can relax and carry on and have that beer or watch that TV show or whatever. But we can't do that stuff until our shit is taken care of. And if we're scatterbrained and not organized, we're going to forget important things that need to be addressed. And I'm not, obviously not like leaving your kid at school, although, if you're not organized and you don't remember little Johnny has wrestling practice, and then that's over at 5 and needs a ride home, and you're supposed to pick him up, yeah, that could cause some issues. But we have even on LinkedIn, I'm just on Google here, I just typed it in. But over on LinkedIn.com, they even discuss it. There's an article there, because this can be business driven as well. It can be used in your professional life and your personal life. But basically, it's a very simple way to get better results with skill, rather than get overwhelmed by your tasks. You get intentional about what your 3 victories that you want to accomplish. Think in 3 wins. Okay. Think in 3 wins. All right, there you go. There's a little mantra for you. Think in 3 wins. This puts you in control, no matter how chaotic things are around you. And to be honest with you, that's a huge key part of being a man, is being in control. Being in control of our environment, being in control of ourself. If we are out of control, our environment will be out of control. If you forget to pay the power bill and they shut your power off, that was under your control. And bad, now you got to go buy all new groceries and fuck around, and just causes undue stress and chaos in your life that you really don't need. We need to be, and I'm not saying in control like lock your fucking wife up. I'm saying be in control of yourself and be in control of the things that you can control. As a daily stoic reader, right? We have to identify the things that we ourselves can control, and not worry about the things outside of our control. But the way that we react definitely affects us in our environment and in our universe, as hippie fucking dippy as that sounds. But anyway, it's a it's pretty fucking easy. I don't really know how much more I can fucking talk about such a simple concept, apparently for like 18 minutes or something. But yeah, that's really it for today. It's kind of short and sweet, and use this to your advantage. I brought this to you to make you a more successful person, personally and possibly professionally, in your life, and maybe help clear some of that fog of some, just I've noticed this in my own life, even with my wife. We get so overwhelmed sometimes, and we get so unfocused, and we not set aside, but we unintentionally forget things that are very important, and it can have very bad consequences. So this is something you definitely want to not. You want to prevent this as much as you can, and I use all different kinds of family calendar, a to-do list, and now the rule of three. And my biggest suggestion for you, something that something that we have started to do as of recent, because we are trying to pay off a lot of debt, as you may have thought of in the last episode. Um, you can use a whiteboard, or we used a piece of parchment paper or butcher paper or something, and basically wrote down all the shit we needed to do, and when it's done it gets crossed off, but it is on our door coming downstairs from our bedroom, and you can't fucking miss it. It's right there in front of your face. So take that rule of three and implement that, and write that down. Put that somewhere where you see it all the time. Make it a fucking wallpaper on your phone. Put it as your background on your computer. Put it on a sticky note and stick it to your fucking forehead. Do something to make sure that you accomplish what you need to get done. So there. With that said, be the man you were meant to be. Have a great week. And thanks for listening.